wrong. That was the thought that hammered in Dr. Eris Thorne's skull as he stared at the brittle, cracked parchment. He wasn't looking at a geographical error, a misplaced mountain range, or a misspelled city. He was looking at a chronological and political misrepresentation so profound it should have been impossible. It would unravel everything he and centuries of other historians believed about the dawn of the European age of exploration in Asia. Aris, barely 30, with a reputation for both genius and infuriating stubbornness, was a rising star at the Library of Congress, specializing in the pre-Mughal history of Bengal, that fertile, sprawling delta at the heart of the Europe-Asia trade routes. For 2 years, he had been meticulously cataloging a newly acquired, privately held collection of 15th and 16th century Asian documents, mostly dry accounting ledgers from the Bengal Sultanate's capital, Gar, a city now lost to time and jungle. Then, he found the Shukla manuscript. It was a small, unassuming volume, bound in faded crimson silk and hidden within a hollowed-out spine of a Portuguese trade report from 1530. It wasn't a ledger. It was a diary, penned in an archaic, almost forgotten form of Bengali and peppered with Persian script, belonging to a court poet and scholar named Aniruddha Shukla. The year it was written, 1505. The official history, the one taught in every university from Harvard to Oxford, stated that the Portuguese, spearheaded by figures like Vasco da Gama and Alfonso de Albuquerque, were the first European power to gain significant, lasting footholds in South Asia around the turn of the 16th century. Their dominance was a slow, inevitable march, aided by superior navigation, weaponry, and the fractured political landscape of the Asian kingdoms. The Shukla manuscript suggested this narrative was a beautiful, meticulously crafted lie. The Whisper of Gar. The library's rare manuscripts room was silent, the air cool and thick with the scent of aged paper and leather. Aris traced the elegant, sweeping script of the poet. He had translated hundreds of pages, piecing together a vivid, almost cinematic account of life in Gar, a metropolis of canals, marble mosques, and flourishing markets that served as the terminus for 1,000 trade routes stretching from the Spice Islands to the Mediterranean. But the most astonishing sections described a rebellion, the Great Loom Revolt of 1500. Historical records mentioned a minor peasant uprising in the jute and cotton weaving districts outside Gar that year, quickly and brutally suppressed by Sultan Alauddin Hussein Shah's cavalry. A footnote in history, a localized spasm against high taxes. Shukla's account transformed this footnote into a catastrophic earthquake. According to the poet, the rebellion was not merely against the Sultan, but against a shadowy, immensely wealthy foreign consortium operating under the Sultan's forced protection. Shukla referred to them only as the Sons of the Western Star, a group of European financiers, master navigators, and arms dealers who had already established a parallel, secret network of fortified trading posts along the Bengal coast and as far east as Malacca, before the official Portuguese arrivals. According to the poet, the rebellion was not merely against the Sultan, but against a shadowy, immensely wealthy foreign consortium operating under the Sultan's forced protection. Shukla referred to them only as the Sons of the Western Star, a group of European financiers, master navigators, and arms dealers who had already established a parallel, secret network of fortified trading posts along the Bengal coast and as far east as Malacca before the official Portuguese arrivals. The date was the key, 1500. They didn't just want spices and silk, did they? Eris whispered. the gravity of the potential discovery pressing on him. They wanted the source. They bypassed the Mediterranean entirely. The Suns weren't a government or a crown. They were a private, armed commercial entity, a proto-corporation that predated the great East India companies by over a century. Their true objective, Shukla claimed, was not merely trade, but the monopolization of silver and gold flow from Europe into Asia, using the Bengal Delta as their primary currency exchange and distribution hub. The loom revolt of 1500, Shukla wrote in trembling ink, was a desperate coordinated attack by the local guilds, the weavers, dyers, and merchants, who saw their ancient way of life being suffocated by the Western Star's currency manipulation and ruthless procurement practices.